Greg will be covering the topic, implementing an automated denture cleaner and silent dust collectors. We'll be addressing any questions that come in at the end of the presentation. So at this point, I'd like to just pass it off to Greg.
Thanks, Caitlin. Hi, everybody. Thanks for taking a little bit of your afternoon to come and find out some things that Renford's doing. We're really excited about it, and I hope everyone is well. Today, we're really talking about, as Caitlin said, implementing an automated denture cleaner and silent extraction, but we like to refer to it as investing in your health. And how can you, in these times that we're going through, really invest in your health? And today we're really going to focus on the SimPro unit, which is this little guy right here. You can see in the really kind of in the palm of my hand, small but compact. Really is a great solution for automatic cleaning of dentures in your laboratory and why that's important. And then we'll also get into why it's important about implementing silent extraction and a good extraction system into your laboratory as well. But without further ado, let's get into it. I know you guys, I'm sure, have things to do this afternoon. But one of the first things that we want to talk about are the questions that are really going on right now that we're all hearing, and that I'm sure you're maybe asking yourself, asking your lab, or asking about your practices. And how do I ensure or improve the health of my employees or patients? That's such a big topic right now. How do I go about reducing the risk of exposure to pathogens? Very important. Are there affordable solutions that I can implement quickly right now into my daily workflow? And are there ways that I can go about improving customer-employee loyalty during the times that we're going through right now? And I guess really the biggest thing that we can talk about, and the first thing that we're really getting into, and the theme of this this presentation really is going to be about cleaning. And so really this sort of answers a lot of those questions. So if you're asking yourself those questions, what can you do? The first thing that you can do definitely is really up your cleaning game. So whether it's your lab or your office, having that clean environment really not only reduces the chances of exposure in the lab, it does help to make your employees and patients feel more at ease. And by reducing stress and anxiety when they come into the workplace, now you're talking about employees feel more comfortable coming in, and that's really important. That's a big part of having that clean environment. So what does that mean? So cleaning really is in your best interest. You can prevent the spread of germs and illness. Again, talking to reemphasize that, reducing stress and anxiety, which will help to increase productivity and satisfaction in the workplace. And it helps to produce a stronger culture in your workplace because your employees feel like you're doing something to help protect them. And that's really important. And as part of that, what's really important is to make sure that you are using posting signage in your laboratory about promoting that clean workspace and what you're doing, what efforts you're taking in your laboratory, and also if it's your dental practice, your clinic, what you're doing there for your patient's sake. Talking about how that it can cost, being sick can cost an employer. 2015 report showed that over $225 billion annually is what sick days cost employers in the United States alone. And that's such a big thing that we're dealing with right now. And a big point of that, looking at that and saying the health and safety is vital to the economy of the United States. And that sort of goes without saying, but it's definitely been proven true. So how does Renford then fit into that idea of a clean workspace? And one of the things that we like to talk about, we've been around for, this year is our 95th year in existence. We've got a long history of making products for the dental lab and office that have the best interest of the technician or the clinician in mind when they're doing their work. And again, whether it's our silent extraction about providing a clean environment with dust extraction, or whether it's reducing noise with our silent extraction as well, harmful noises, or providing a better cleaning solution, such as the SimPro unit. Renford offers a lot of ways to invest not only in your health, but in your employees' and patients' health. So let's talk about that solution. Let's talk about what is the SimPro and get into simplified denture cleaning. So why is that important? One of the first things that we'll talk about is the denture itself and why is that important? You can, if you're someone who wears a denture, still, of course, going home and cleaning with home over-the-counter products is important. That's going to help to keep your denture somewhat clean, but it doesn't really remove those the buildup and the accretions that occur over time. And that really needs a professional prophylaxis or professional cleaning done. And what is that going to do? I mean, if you're doing that on a regular basis, which a lot of people are maybe not doing, but the reason for doing it, it's going to reduce those deposits from forming and spreading on the denture. It's going to help to prevent any increased gingivitis that the patient might be dealing with, or it's going to also, and a big thing that we're talking about right now is it's going to decrease that increased risk of infection or respiratory disease. So some trends that we are seeing. Why do we think it's important that you're cleaning a denture professionally? Well, we know that right now we're seeing an increased number of removable appliances. There's a lot of new technologies out there right now that are producing dentures faster and at a lower cost for the patient. So the number of those are increasing. But we're also, due to certain economic factors, seeing a lot of an increased number of repairs going on to those dentures. So that's really important. And if they're not being cleaned professionally, then they're really only getting surface cleaning done, and that's where it really affects the patient, and that will also affect your laboratory if you're doing those repairs, relines to those dentures that are coming back into your laboratory. What are you doing about that? So typically when it comes into the laboratory or the dental office, we know that it's a very labor-intensive process. It's not just, you can drop it in an ultrasonic, but the ultrasonic is really not going to take care of everything that needs to be done. So in order to remove those hardened accretions that have occurred or accrued on the denture, something else needs to happen. And that typically involves either scraping with a sharp instrument or manual grinding on the appliance with burrs. And that can do a couple of things. So one, anytime you're grinding on that appliance or grinding on, let's say, those accretions that didn't get removed, now you're risking exposure to pathogens and bacteria in that buildup that wasn't removed. But you're also increasing the chances of actually creating scratches on that appliance, which then, if they're not polished, when it goes back to the patient, ends up creating extra area, surface area for more bacteria, more accretions to sort of latch onto the denture, and then it just creates more problems down the road. So it leads to more problems for patient hygiene. So let's watch a little video to talk a little bit more about what you can see the SimPro in action, okay? So hopefully everybody was able to see that. And just now let's get into a little bit more about what is that, what is the SimPro? So it's a compact high performance cleaning unit. It literally is, you see the compactness of it. It literally is a desktop unit. And it's especially suitable for cleaning dentures, orthodontic appliances, or other dental restorations. And how that works, they're specially designed needles that are placed into a cleaning jar. The denture is dropped in with a special cleaning solution, and up to 2,000 RPMs, those metal pins spin around and then clean the denture and get rid of all of those accretions that are on the denture. And it's really done hands-free, and that's sort of the beauty of it. Again, it has a very small footprint for the bench top, easy to use. Again, so instead of sitting down and actually having to grind on it with a handpiece or pick at it with a sharp Explorer instrument, it's really done hands-free, and that's the beauty of it. And also the fact that you have a validated hygienic processing of this of the material, so that you can clean in between both the bowl itself, the pins can be cleaned, and then be ready for the next use. And that's really important. And then remember that this is a cleaning solution. It's not a disinfecting unit. It does clean the unit. And like anything else, just like if you're using a ultrasonic, once it's cleaned, it then has to be disinfected. And so you still do that process going through, whether you're using like Cavicide 1 or other disinfectant. So it's always disinfected before it goes back to the patient, or it goes out of your lab for the final case, that you disinfect that case and goes out. But that's really important. Again, simple to use because it is a fully automated process, and it really doesn't involve any hands-on labor other than putting it into the solution and pressing a button. That allows you to do other tasks, be able to walk away from that and really concentrate on other things that you're doing. So you get time saving, preparation, whether you're doing repairs or extensions, relines, or for the patient, if it's in the office, that's a nice thing. So in as little as 15 minutes, it's going to remove the plaque, tartar, any accretions that have gotten onto the denture. And so it allows for, if you're in the dental office, for the assistant to then help with patient exam, whatever, and then go back to grab the appliance, disinfect it, and bring it back to the patient. So it does a lot of things there. And it leaves that denture with that smooth, glossy surface. But really, too, let's look at some more about why, sort of talking about the why, and really specifically right now where we're talking about, with COVID, a lot of things talking about how it's important that you're avoiding touching your face. But if you're a denture wearer, what are you doing? Because you have to kind of touch your face. You have to pull your appliance in and out. And that's really important when talking about that, because if you're, again, doing it at home, cleaning it on a daily basis, sure, that helps. But if you have a dirty denture with these accretions already on it, and you haven't had it professionally cleaned, you're not able to get rid of those. And those things lead to a lot of problems for you. So what you end up getting, you'll get this biofilm that will develop on the denture, and that can be bad. And that's something that, if you're not cleaning the denture, then it really needs to be taken in at least every 6 months or so, taken to the dentist and done professionally. Or if you're the lab, being able to offer this as a service for when the cases come to your laboratory, being able to now offer this as a service, that's a great thing. And we'll get into that a little bit more. So let's look at what the system is. You've got the SimPro cleaner itself. Again, if you can see here, just very small, compact unit. It comes with the bowl itself, a disinfectable bowl. Comes with the pins for actually cleaning the unit. Comes with tongs for removing the appliance in and out of the bowl. It has a magnet, of course, on the back. That's part of helping to keep the pins in place when you pour out the liquid. And then we have the two cleaning solutions that work with our unit. We have a Nico Clean solution, which is for soaking the denture if needed, for really tough stains, for smoke stains, nicotine stains, etc. Really dark stains, that's a pre-soak. And then the SimPro Fluid Universal is sort of a daily use fluid that you would use for everyday cleaning of that material. So talk more about why the SimPro. Again, huge time savings, up to 80% versus a manual cleaning. It frees you up for other tasks. And again, you're not damaging the appliance. You're not grinding on it, risking damaging the appliance. It actually just gently removes those. And for the patient and for your lab technicians, it's removing those accretions, which again can create a hazard for the technician that's going to be working on that appliance, or for the patient, can lead to other hygiene issues. Okay, so it gives you that extra layer of protection because you're actually getting rid of that material. But one very interesting thing about it that we'll talk about is that it can actually be a revenue source for both the dental office and for the laboratory, because you actually can provide a professional prophylaxis service that you can charge for. And that's something that if it's coming that you can offer your dentists in the laboratory, you can say, I can professionally clean the appliance before it comes back to you. Or if you're the dental office, that you can do it for the patient. And they can come in when they do their examination and have a professional cleaning done of their appliance. And if we look at sort of the return on investment for that, you can see that actually doing that, going through the process, typically it's going to cost you, with the amount of material that you're going to use about 200 mils of solution each time. The unit itself runs around a little under $1,000. And I think Zahn has some specials going right now. But looking at that, if you're charging, let's say, a fee of around $40 per cleaning, running this unit, basically running it 30 times, it pays for itself. And so that's really important. And then it just becomes a revenue maker at that point. So you've got a lot of things here in this small unit. It's got, again, the ability to clean hands-free, and then the ability to free up your staff for other tasks, to help to clean the appliance, to provide a better, cleaner work environment. But it also can be, again, that revenue source for you. So that's really important. So that's, again, is the SimPro unit. We talked about earlier, one of the things that's important is when those appliances are coming in, obviously most of the time they're going to be ground on. So if you are in your laboratory or dental office and you're grinding on something, you're generating dust, and that's what we're going to talk about next. Is how do you control that, especially with appliances that may be contaminated. That's a really important thing to think about. So let's look at our silent extraction solutions from Renfort that we offer. We talked about it. We said if you are grinding, then you're generating dust and debris. So how do you control that? And again, why is that important? Why is that so important? If you're grinding, again, you're generating dust, and it's really important that you're using good dust extraction, and not just strong dust extraction, but that you're using the right accessories to control that dust. Because if you are spreading dust and debris, you're increasing the chance that you will spread, again, pathogens and bacteria into the laboratory or office. So And yet it's not just about that dust and debris. It's also about controlling aerosols. It's one of the big things, one of the key words that we're hearing and talking about. So obviously it's important that you treat every impression as it would say that it's carrying pathogens. And then when you're spray disinfecting, that you, in the case that you might generate aerosols, having some type of extraction that can get that out of the laboratory or out of that environment and keeping it away. Now, obviously, you're going to be wearing PPE as well, but this is just another layer of protection for you. And you can see that here. We'll talk about, look at. So in this case, they were using our silent TS unit, which has a double layer of protection, has a filter, an M-class filter. And then you also have a special fiber filter bag. So you get that double layer of protection, and then also using the extractor clamp to help remove those aerosols. So that's that one situation there, silent TS and extractor clamp. But also something else to consider is there are cases obviously that come into the laboratory that would be possibly contaminated. And then there are those that you're doing in the office or in the laboratory that have never been outside of the laboratory. You don't want to have to risk cross-contaminating those. So in order to decrease the risk of that cross-contamination, the opportunity might exist for you to actually have two separate areas for that. So you could have two areas, two Dust-X units set up, one for cases coming in for repairs, et cetera, another for cases that are just done in the laboratory. And here you can see that. I'll show you the actual, the Dust-X in action. One of the things that I want to emphasize here in this case is that it's not just about having good, strong suction. You need to have those good accessories where the dust is not being pulled in or it's not in an open area. Having somewhere like a Dust-X Master Plus to actually contain those particles in conjunction with good suction is going to be your optimum situation. And so that's what the Dust-X Master Plus is. So let's talk about dust extraction and why it's such an important thing. With us, obviously, it combines several things when we're talking about our silent suction units. One, you want to have dust extraction that's maximum power, but at the same time, you want to have a quiet environment. So you don't want to have noises in the laboratory that are going to be harmful to you, high-pitched noises. So our units are extremely quiet, have a strong suction power. They have intuitive operation so that they work automatically with your hand pieces, etc. Very long motor running time, easily calibrated again to your hand piece. That's part of our silent extraction system. With our units, this is our full family of units. Obviously, they have multiple purposes. On the left, we'll look at the silent TS units. Silent TS units that we've sort of highlighted in this situation because they do have a double layer of protection. You have a main motor filter, which is an M-class, 99.9%. But then you also have our specialized fiber bags that provides a secondary layer of protection. These units also, both the silent TS for single station and then the silent TS2, which is for two station extraction. Those have the double filter, so you get the main motor filter and the bagged filter, but they also have the ability to be upgraded to a HEPA filter if you so desire, for that extra layer of protection. We do also have some compact units. Obviously, our Silent Compact is great for small areas, for let's say a dental clinic or a small area of your lab or single station. The Silent Compacts work great. Those are bagless units. Again, easily calibrated, and do again have that 99.9% M-class filter. We also have, of course, our cam solutions with our Silent Compact Cam and the Silent Power Cam EC. The Compact Cam, of course, being for smaller desktop type mills, and then the Power Cam EC for your bigger mills. The EC, it has our EC type motor system. That just means it's over 5,000 hour runtime, and that's minimal runtime on the ECs. It's an electronically commutated motor, so there's no brushes on that. So extremely long life and extremely powerful suction unit. And then that same motor technology works again with our Silent EC2, which is again EC technology, but for a 2-station intelligent control. All of the Compact Cam, and Power Cam, and EC2, those are all bagless units, and that's sort of a trend that we've seen in the past, especially for milling. But know that we do have multiple solutions, whether you want a bagless solution or a bagged solution. We do have either the Silent TS, TS2, or our other Silent Compact Cam, EC, and the EC2. Sort of our workhorse also that we also have is the Silent Compact, or excuse me, our Vortex Compact 3L, which is good for any kind of wet, dry solutions that you may have, and is a mobile unit as well. Strong suction, and does have the 2-stage as well, and it does have a HEPA available for it as well. But specifically what we're talking about, again, going back to our clean environment and how it's really important, the proper extraction is crucial to a clean work environment. So when we're talking about the Silent TS and the TS2, those have that HEPA available upgrade. It does have the Class M filter system, which gives you that 2 layers of health protection. And right now, Zahn, we have a special promotion going on. So with purchase of the Silent TS or TS2, you get a free 5-pack of filter bags with purchase of that. And again, you can upgrade to the HEPA filter on these units. Again, the DustX Master Plus, again, is that versatile extractor box that you saw earlier in action. Protects against dust and fumes and other contaminants. And then we also have, again, the extractor clamp, which is available. It's more of a portable solution, so you can clamp that anywhere that you want to add an extraction port. You can just hook any of our silent units will connect directly to the side of that, and then you'll have, then you can have suction at that point. All right. So going back to review those things, again, investing in your health begins obviously with a clean work environment. And you know, the whole idea that you can provide a new level of clean for any of those prosthetics that are coming in, removable prosthetics. It gives you multiple layers. One, you're cleaning it for the patient and providing a better service. One, if it's just for your employees alone in the laboratory, you're, again, cleaning that in a hands-free way so that you get rid of those accretions that can create problems if they're ground on, which then, if they're ground on, then of course become aerosolized and need to be extracted. So trying to reduce those, the number of those, is very important. And then the third thing with that SimPro is that it can be that service that you can provide, one for your patients or for your doctors, and use it as a revenue source where it can actually be, can generate money for your laboratory or for your dental office. And then going back beyond that, talking about how extracting the dust and debris from your office or laboratory is extremely important. You're going to help protect the health of employers, or health of your employees, and that's such an important thing right now. And so right now, it's a good time to, if you don't have the dust extraction solutions in your laboratory, now is a good time to sit and think about where good extraction can be put into your laboratory. And just know that Renford has multiple solutions for that. And feel free to contact me directly, or you can call your Zahn sales consultant to get started. And right now they've got some great deals going on right now on all of these pieces of equipment.
And thank you so much, Greg. We really appreciate this.